Right, tēnā koutou katoa, ko Linda McIntosh aho. Someone's ringing me. You probably can hear that in the background. Ko Linda McIntosh tuku ingoa no Ototahi aho, e mahi ana auhei People Experience Lead ki Auckland Transport. So tēnā koutou katoa, and also talofa, malo elele, and kia ora ana. Hello everyone. I'm Linda. I am the People Experience Lead at Auckland Transport, and it's my pleasure today in 18 minutes, so I'm going to talk really fast, to share a little bit about our graduate program at Auckland Transport, Ngā Kaihui. And obviously I'm biased, but I do believe it's an amazing program. And I'll hand over to my colleague Bailey at the end of my discussion to talk to some of the diversity and particularly our Māori talent strategy, which is really, really important to us at Auckland Transport. So I'll give you an idea of what you can find at Auckland Transport in terms of opportunity. And it's something that I've learned over the years attending in-person career fairs. I'll see people walking past our stand and I'll say, why are you walking past? Oh, I'm not an engineering graduate, or I'm not a transport graduate. And so there's just so much more opportunity beyond that. So there are roles around innovation and digital. There's procurement, there's finance, safety, there's PR, marketing, HR, culture and transformation, as you know, construction, legal, risk and assurance, and obviously IT. So the opportunity is limitless, I guess, really, when you join Auckland Transport. So that's the first thing I would say. Who are Auckland Transport? We are basically responsible for all of the transport services in Tamaki Makaurau, and that's huge. That's not just roads and footpaths, but it's cycling, it's about education, community transport education, it's cycling, it's modal shift, it's parking, it's public transport. So it's huge. We manage about $20 billion worth of transport related assets, and we are tasked with building a vibrant, growing city for the future. And that involves you guys. We're growing our own talent. Our Ngā Kaihui program is all about creating a future for Auckland and building leaders, future leaders for Tamaki Makaurau and for Aotearoa. So that's probably a little bit about Auckland Transport. A bit about the program. It's for any intern, graduate or scholar. It's an 18-month program, and we recently redesigned it. So it's not a 6-monthly change in terms of structured environment. So it's not on a rotational basis. It's based on what we call placement. So you're in your same home function with your home function leader over the 18-month period. And then you can jump into projects and placements and areas of Auckland Transport. So what it does is it gives you a much broader depth of diversity of experience, exposure, learning, opportunities. So I won't go into huge detail, but what I will tell you all is jump on the website, because that will give you a really great sense of the structure of the program and how those placements work. And obviously really happy after this to answer any questions on that. So as I said, 18 months, we co-designed this new program with our current graduates. Thank you, Bailey. I know you were hugely involved in that process, and with our leaders, and said, like, what's not working, what's working. Graduates wanted variety, they wanted more opportunity, and they wanted to actually do worthwhile and meaningful work. And so what this enables you to do is actually work on a project from start to finish, if that's what you want to do. It gives you a broader sort of exposure in terms of human-centered design and how we work across all of the different functions within Auckland Transport, and obviously with the customer at forefront of what we do. The other thing I will say is your diversity of thought, experience, culture, everything, that brings such amazing fresh eyes and opportunity for us at AT to also grow. So we have an amazing reverse mentoring component to our graduate program. And I know the graduates that I'm blessed with working with, I learn as much from them as they do from me. And to be fair, I think we're doing some of our very best work. So it's a really great way to join the business. And Bailey's probably heard me say this previously. You don't know what you don't know. So you've done your degree, you've joined the workforce, and the opportunity is just endless. So what I would say is this program is designed so that you can grab every opportunity for learning, for development, and your original career thoughts, we don't call it a ladder anymore. It's very cross-functional, and we call it a career pathway. It's quite latitudinal. So it'll give you a chance to really think about what you want to do, and that might change. And so your learning and development within the program is designed to support you with that. All of the information in terms of how do you apply, what we're looking for, and the process, the selection process, that's all on our website. We recently, with that redesign, removed grade point averages, so no GPA. We want to see what people can bring their whole selves to Auckland Transport. As I said, future leaders, and the future of Auckland Transport is in our ngā kaihoi, in our kaihoi in the program. We've got amazing diversity, but we're still obviously working on that. We are fully committed to that. Our CEO is totally supportive of diversity and inclusion at Auckland Transport. So we have a huge number of connect groups, and specifically we've got a Pasifika, AT Pasifika network, amazing people in there, and they will wrap you up in support, love, and really help you in terms of what's on offer and what's possible at Auckland Transport. And we also have a Manukau Māori network where you can connect culturally with others as well, and obviously many, many more outside of that. So diversity, not just of culture, but as I've said, thought, experience, and innovation, essentially. So that's probably me. I'm not going to go on because I don't want to steal time from Bailey, but what I would say is please jump onto the website, the Ngā Kaihu website. I'll chuck it in the chat shortly. And there's a whole bunch of information around the opportunities that we have in Auckland Transport, and there's also an opportunity to email or link in with me or Bailey or the wider team to ask any questions. We'd love to hear from you. So I will pass over to Bailey.
Thanks, Linda. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Bailey Masters toku ingoa, no Ngāti Pākehā, Ngāti Mahanga, Ngāti Parau oku tipuna, kei roto o I te tīna Māori Policy and Engagement ki Auckland Transport. Hi everyone, I'm Bailey. I'm a Māori Outcomes Advisor in the Māori Policy and Engagement team at Auckland Transport. Linda's just asked me if I can run through one of our recruitment strategies here to increase Māori representation and just general diversity at Auckland Transport. So I'll just share my screen. So hopefully everyone can see that. So we've named our Māori employment strategy Hutia Kia Wana Māori, Māori Empowerment. And that's our plan for the next 3 years to increase Māori wellbeing and Māori representation here at Auckland Transport. We believe at AT that you can only really represent the people you serve by having representation within the organisation. So we felt this strategy was really important to increase that representation here. I won't suck up too much time, but there's just a bit of context around Māori and Tāmaki Makaurau, which make up about 11.5% of the population. We're straight up AT's not currently hitting that in their organisation, but we're trying to raise that representation up to 12% so that we can represent Te Hapori Māori in Tāmaki Makaurau. So our objectives over the next 3 years is to reflect the population of Tāmaki Makaurau, so raise that level of Māori representation in Auckland Transport to 12%, so that we have a thriving, diverse and inclusive workforce and a high-performing culture. A few years ago, we established our values, our Te Ao Māori values here at AT, which is awahatanga, whanaungatanga, tiakitanga and manakitanga. And we've started to weave those through all our policies and strategies to ensure that Te Ao Māori is not only just tacked on at the end, but actually is the foundation for our strategies and policies here at Auckland Transport, and that Te Ao Māori guides us into the future. So building on that, recently we developed this framework that we've just begun to use here at Auckland Transport, which we've called Te Taurapa. It initially actually started out as a design strategy because people were, I guess, using Māori symbolism in ways that we weren't totally comfortable with. So we brought Fly Design, who are mana whenua artist, into Auckland Transport to help us come up with a design that was more culturally appropriate for what we do. So for those who know, Te Taurapa is the head of a waka. We find that really symbolic because it allows us to, I guess, look forward into the future while also looking back into the past. So when we applied Te Taurapa to our recruitment strategy, we took elements of the taurapa. So at the top, there's the manaia, the takarangi and the manu, which represent the Māori policy and engagement team here at Auckland Transport. So our goal applying that to the strategy is to make Māori policy engagement the kaiuringi, or the navigator, or those in charge, or those who guide and lead everything kaupapa Māori, everything related to Te Ao Māori here at Auckland Transport. So by putting that in the hands of Māori, we are doing what's best for Māori. The second one is Te Herenga Waka, to anchor Māori throughout Auckland Transport. And we're planning to do that by, I guess, reanalyzing our recruitment strategies and our marketing strategies to not only recruit more Māori, but also attract more Māori. Because we noticed when we were building this that we weren't getting enough Māori applicants to Auckland Transport so that we could actually recruit them, which is part of the reason why we're here today, right? We're trying to reach out to mana whenua and Mātā Waka communities and to our Pasifika whānau as well. To try and get the unique knowledge and experiences in mātauranga that you guys have, and help us to weave that through the organisation to create a culture where again, Māori just aren't tacked onto the end, but they actually form the core of who we are. Ngā matapono, that's what I talked about before, our values of manakitanga, tiakitanga, whanaungatanga and awahatanga. Te uho me te tangata here, that's all about supporting and developing our Māori, our kaimahi Māori, our Māori staff throughout their journey here at Auckland Transport, so that when they come into the organisation, they feel welcome and accepted as Māori, and when they leave, they've got skills and knowledge that they can take throughout into the future of their career in Aotearoa. And finally, tangaroa is all about creating a culture where Māori feel valued as Māori. So that's about, again, I guess, attracting Māori and making us feel welcome and safe here at AT by weaving Te Ao Māori and Tikanga Māori and Te Reo Māori, not only throughout our organisation, but also throughout the public transport network. So that Te Reo, Tikanga and Te Ao Māori guide and are the core of everything we do. And again, just saying, not there yet whānau, but we're working towards it. We're working towards it, and we've made great strides over the last few years. I know there's currently an audit of the public transport system happening at the moment. We were trying to replace all the signage across the public transport network to bilingual, so that Te Reo Māori has a really prime and unique spot in our organisation out there in the public. Linda briefly touched on this, but I'll just have a chat too. I'm I'm an ex-ngā kaihu, I'm an ex-graduate that started off in Auckland Transport. Strangely enough, I actually started out, I've got a history degree. I did 4 years of history at uni, in New Zealand history, and picked up a little bit of reo there as well. But AT actually hired me in the retail space because I've done some work at the customer service centres at the ticket offices during my degree, and they hired me in the retail space, and I was responsible for reviewing and reviewing the cash management process, essentially, which is completely left field for me. It's got nothing to do with my degree at all. But I guess that's kind of an encouragement just for everyone out there who's thinking about joining a graduate program. It doesn't necessarily need to match up with the degree, especially at the start of your career. Kind of anything you dip into, anything you grab hold of, as long as you grab hold of it with enthusiasm, you pick things up from it and you can take it wherever you go from there, those skills and experiences. So when I've moved into other teams through the Ngā Kaihui program, I've taken those skills with me. You know, when I started in the retail space, I didn't know anything about Excel at all. I didn't know what a sum formula was or how to add, subtract, anything. I mean, but now Excel is a big part of what I do here in the Māori Policy and Engagement team. But those skills I learned up in the retail space mean I've taken those soft skills that I've learned and I've applied those to other areas of the organisation. Other kaihui Māori who are on an organisation, we've got a few in our design space who are doing some of the copywriting and design work, like you see in the background here. We've got quite a few up in Linda's team in CNT, or we have had up in CNT, the culture and transformation, who deal with people here at the organisation and Māori wellbeing. And Linda's better at talking about this than me.
You're doing an awesome job, Bailey.
Oh, kia ora, Linda.
Kia ora.
We've also got this lovely man here, Billy, Ngā Puhi man, in the internal communications. So again, doing the writing for the company rather than external comms. We actually do have a grad in external comms at the moment too that's responsible for some of the social media work we do. And reporting to journalists and all that kind of nonsense. Important nonsense.
Important nonsense, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But not my space, but it's definitely her. She fits in well there. Yeah, so plenty of opportunities here for Auckland Transport. Not necessarily, you're not restricted to like engineering or when you think of Auckland Transport, we often think of roads, right? We think of roads and buses and trains, but it's the opportunities that you have at Auckland Transport are actually a lot larger than that. And we'd really love you to be here because, again, that mātauranga experience that you guys bring, your unique worldviews and rangatahi rangatira, that what you bring to the program is just invaluable to us. And just the last slide briefly, Linda again touched on this, but we've also got a very strong and passionate Manaka Māori network, which is again responsible for connecting with kaimahi Māori staff and their whānau across Auckland Transport and making sure we've got a really robust relationship with each other. And they also host and support events such as Matariki, Te Rao, Waitangi Day, and Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, Māori Language Week. And you can even join our Waiata group. There's me in the background there, in my lockdown here. If you're if you want to be singer. And that's about all for me, Linda.
Yeah, I think we're out of time. So in closing, I just wanted to add huge thank you, Bailey, for doing that on the hop for me and sharing your story. The other thing is we do have a Pasifika talent strategy as well. Obviously, we didn't have enough time to share everything with you here today. And we did that using the Kakala model. So again, really collaborating with our people and talking to our people. And And so we have huge aspirations and priorities. And just as Bailey said, we're still early on the journey, but we're really committed to having a workforce that reflects the community of Tamaki Makaurau. And we would love if Auckland Transport sounds like somewhere where you could thrive and shine. We would love to hear from you. So thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Kia ora, Linda and Bailey. Thank you for that. Appreciate you sharing. That was awesome.